Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. We'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these charges. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there are 2 assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this morning. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. One with the bomb threats. Yes, sir. Zella Robinson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rob Lewis representing the state.
Get through all these. Morning, Miss Robinson. What's your date of birth?
12/27/2000.
Ms. Robinson, this morning I have 4 warrants for you today. Each warrant was signed by Judge Scaglione. In each case, he found probable cause for the charges in those warrants. On the first one, those charges are false report of bomb, unlawful use of two-way communication device, misuse of 911, disrupting a school function. In the second warrant, there are 2 counts of false report of bomb, 2 counts of unlawful use of two-way communication device, 1 count of misuse of 911, and 2 counts of disrupting a school function. In the third warrant, there's 1 count of false report bomb, 1 count of unlawful use of two-way communication device, 1 count of misuse of 911, and 1 count of disrupting the school function. And then finally, in the fourth warrant, there are 2 counts of false report of bomb, 2 counts of unlawful use of two-way communication device, 2 counts of misuse of 911, and 2 counts of disrupting a school function. As I mentioned, Judge Scaglione has found probable cause for all of those. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself, do you plan on hiring private counsel, or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Mr. Lewis.
She has no record at all, Judge, not even a juvenile record. We would ask that because the basis of the charges and the strength of the case, we would just ask the bond remain the same at this point.
Okay. And Ms. Robinson, I have an address for you on Pitcairn Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
No, sir.
Where do you live now?
I do not have anywhere to live at the moment.
Okay. Where are your folks?
I have none.
The people that are listed on the probable cause affidavit, Your Honor, in my understanding, those are the foster parents.
Okay. She's in the custody of DCF right now. I mean, she's okay. Okay. And then I assume you're not employed then either, Ms. Robinson?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Once you total all these up, it's a lot of money. That's what I'm looking at, Mr. Lewis. I'm guessing she's unable to make any bond. She has no history of anything. There's no juvenile history. There's nothing.
I'm looking at the NCIC right now, and the first hits on this are these cases, Judge, and I'm not. No, I'm not seeing. Only hits on it are these cases before the court, Judge.
Okay. Given her age and her history and her situation, what I will do is set the bonds on all of the charges except the disrupt school functions. So there's 17 of those various charges at $1,000 apiece. On the school function charges, there appears to be 6 of those at $500 apiece. So that's $3,000 on those misdemeanors, $17,000 on the other, for a total of $20,000. All of your cases, Ms. Robinson, coming back to court on the 1st of May. If you can't bond out, frankly, it appears to me like you might not be able to. The public defender will come and see you at the jail and discuss these serious charges with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
And that was May 1, Judge?
May 1.
And that would be Judge
Merritt.
Judge Merritt. Yep. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Rob. Matt, do you have something on first appearance or just Jill?
Judge, I have one. I got David Bailey.
David Bailey? Morning, Mr. Bailey. What's your date of birth?
12/19/68.
Mr. Bailey, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation.
Right.
And Matt, you're here from Mr. Bailey.
Right, Judge. On this case, obviously it's a no bond. What we're asking, though, is Judge Merritt has a violation of probation docket on Thursday. We can move it over to there. And that'd be the 5th, Your Honor.
The 5th? Okay. Very good. So I'll leave the bond at no bond. I'll move the case to April 5th. Very good. All right, Mr. Bailey.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Like that purple there. Want to be a Vikings fan now?
No. How's that Super Bowl win?
You should bring it up. That's my fault.
Rich, how many Super Bowls the Packers have?
I believe
Super Bowls?
Yeah.
So they usually count the championships.
13 or 14, something like that. Parmelia Herrera. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
7/15/62.
The charge this morning is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State.
Arrest for battery out of Hernando County in 2009, no resolution. 2011, out of Hernando, a DUI and a refusal that was dropped. And then back in 2002, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon out of Massachusetts. South Shore, Judge.
Ma'am, I have an address for you on Pinehurst Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
About 6 years.
You have a job these days?
No, I go truck driving with my boyfriend, who's a truck driver.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $500. We'll have you back in court on the 20th of April. Make sure that you go see the public defender when you get out, all right?
Now, I have no access to my money because my pocketbook and everything is at my house.
Mm-hmm. So I'd give
Is there any way-
I'd give your boyfriend, the truck driver, a call.
Yeah, I think he's upset with me right now.
Well, that's going to be your best bet. Very good. Thank you, ma'am. April Maxwell. Morning, April. What's your date of birth?
1/16/79.
April, this is a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. Bond, of course, is going to be no bond. We'll have you back. They told you the 1st of May. We're going to have you back April 11th.
Okay,
And
thank
the
you.
public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Samantha Rivera. Morning, Samantha. What's your date of birth?
Good morning. March 18th, 1970.
Samantha, 2 charges this morning: driving on a suspended license and providing a false name to a law enforcement officer. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the PD state.
Yeah, it looks like she may have a misdemeanor warrant out of New York for petty theft. It's all showing, Judge.
And Samantha, I have an address for you on Harrow Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
On and off for 10 years?
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I'm a hairstylist.
I'll set you bond at $500 on each count, so your total's $1,000. We'll have you back in court on the 20th of April. Very important that you go see the public defender when you get out, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah New. Morning, Deborah. What's your date of birth?
March 28th, 1968.
Deborah, this is a felony battery. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I would like a public defender, but
Don't talk about the facts of your, ma'am, don't talk about the facts of your
Deborah?
case today.
Deborah? Yeah.
may I request a public defender, and then in the future, if I change my mind,
Absolutely.
hire?
Deborah, right. I'm going to appoint a lawyer today, Deborah, so we know we have one right away. And if you hire
Thank you.
private counsel down the road, they'll contact the public defender and let them know that they're off the job because you have private counsel, all right?
Thank you.
Very good. State, what can you tell me about Miss New?
Conspiracy to commit first offense, Judge.
Okay. And Deborah, I have an address for you on Brady Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
I am evacuated there for now. My primary residence is Key West, but the house is destroyed.
Okay. So you've
So
been,
I am residing on Brady Street for now,
Okay. You've been there for a while then, right?
since September 10th.
Very good. Do you have a job these days, Deborah?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I do tech support for the past 20 years.
Okay. Who do you do that for?
Oracle Corporation.
Okay.
I work from home.
Okay. All right, Deborah, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000, but the condition of the bond is that you're not going to, while this charge is pending, you're not going back to Oak Hill Hospital, all right? You can go anyplace else, but you're not going to Oak Hill while this charge is pending. I'm going to have you back in court on the 1st of May. When you get out, if you don't hire a lawyer, make sure you contact the public defender as soon as you can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Jordan Albert. Morning, Jordan. What's your date of birth?
6/1981.
Jordan, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a battery being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like a public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
2000 canvas, 2007 DV that was dropped, 2007, and burglary of a structure. So you got a windhold on that, but I guess he later boxed because it's showing he later registered as a felon. 2012 DV conviction, misdemeanor. 2012 conditional release violation, conviction. DV battery conviction, criminal mischief conviction. Petty theft conviction, 2012, canvas again, misdemeanor, conviction, and paraphernalia. So I'm showing this.
And sir, I have an address for you on Gray Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
4 or 5 years.
You have a job these days?
No.
Okay. And looks like Brandy lives at that same address. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Miss Set your bond at $1,000. Condition of that bond is that you'll have no contact with Brandy while this charge is pending. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media. Don't have a third person contact her. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and tell them she'd like the charges dropped. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I'm going to hold you today at the jail up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on the 20th of April. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right? Thank you. Philip Atkins. Morning, Philip. What's your date of birth?
2/11/85.
Philip, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 1st of May. Public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Are you leaving? Or you just let me know? Have a good day. Brian, jump. Morning, Brian. What's your date of birth?
10/21/1983.
Brian, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I'd like to hire private counsel.
Okay. State what you tell me.
Prior to Willis and an FDA in North Carolina for 2010. Optional judge.
Brian, I have an address for you on Timber Lane in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Since December 1st last year.
Do you have a job these days?
I do. I drive for Uber and I'm a software developer.
I set your bond at $500. I'm going to have you back in court on the 20th of April. Make sure when you hire your lawyer, you tell them about that court date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Michael Shipton. Morning, Michael. What's your date of birth?
9/21/90.
Michael, I have a warrant this morning signed by Judge Toner that was for failing to appear on 2 counts, possession of controlled substance and possession of paraphernalia. And then we have a new charge, possession of methamphetamine. So there's probable cause all the way around. State, does he have anything else open, or is it just...
Yes, a misdemeanor case.
Okay. What's the misdemeanor case?
18 MM 225 is for petty theft, January 31st, 18. And the warrant is 60 days. She's recommended.
Oh, it's a VOP? Oh, so a warrant, it's a VOP warrant that hasn't been served. Is that...
So I can tell you.
And do you know, Rich, if he has anything else open?
Is it one thing, Judge?
The warrant was signed off on 3 days.
Okay, what's the case number again?
Excuse me?
The case number again?
It's 18MM225. Petty theft, January 1st.
Okay.
This is off your docket, Judge.
What's that?
I believe that's off your docket.
Yes, it was. That's your case.
Okay. There's a new petty theft on the way too. That'll get me where I want to go. Okay. I'm sorry, Michael. Do you want the public defender? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. On the warrant, I will leave the bonds per Judge Toner's warrant, which is $4,000 and $2,000 respectively. Have that case come back. Oh, maybe he does have something open. Is that him? And what's the charge on 531? And that's open. Okay. Gotcha. So these charges I will return to April 9th, where you already have a case. The new case, the possession of methamphetamine, I will appoint the public defender, leave the bond per the schedule, which is $5,000. Return that one also to April 9th. Then, because of the new charge on possession of methamphetamine, job number 1, when you're out on bond, is don't pick up new charges. It appears to me that you have. So in both 18 CF 531 and 18 MM 1006, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471. On those cases, you'll be on no bond until they come back to court, which on the felony cases is the 9th of April, on the misdemeanor cases the 11th of April. So you'll be without bond at least until the 11th. Judge Toner, and then on the 11th myself, will be able to revisit your bond or get your cases resolved, whatever is appropriate on that at that point in time. And the public defender is going to come out and see you prior to your court dates, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Can I get that misdemeanor date?
The 411. Daryl Thomas? Morning, Daryl. What's your date of birth?
3/26/2000.
Daryl, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for 2 charges, burglary of a dwelling and attempted burglary of a dwelling. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
A public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. I'll get you in a second, Daryl, all right? State what can you tell me?
2012 as a juvenile, interference with school administration function, which is no prize. 2012 as a juvenile in FTA. 2015 as a juvenile, DV, misdemeanor, withhold. 2016 as a juvenile, grand theft auto, and possession of alcohol. It's like the withhold on a burglary, and no cross on the alcohol. 2018 as a juvenile, this may have been the instant charge. It's right file.
Right. Okay.
Daryl,
Mr. Thomas Sr., you can come forward if you have something you want to tell me.
Morning,
How you been doing?
I'll be like that.
Okay, is it
What's
getting better?
coming back? I appreciate that you give me those
That's
extensions. Your Honor, this is a thing that has nothing to do with this case, but this kid is getting ready to graduate this year.
Okay.
And the charge that they have against him doesn't fit the crime. I don't know nobody that will call 911 and they burglarizing somebody's home. I called the police as well. I was sitting in my garage. He came up to me. He said, "Dad, somebody trying to kill somebody out." tore down my door coming out the garage, running. He's scared. Saw somebody actually behind him. He know the neighbors. The neighbors know him. And he didn't go in no house to burglarize anything. He went to hide.
Okay, well...
And I think the bond is way too high.
Okay, well, Daryl, that's why I'm here, is to set a reasonable bond. And what is that, Daryl?
This is from Coach Vigil from the school.
Oh, just saying he's going to graduate.
Yes, he graduated this year.
Okay.
And what the state did, Your Honor, they held this kid for 20 days. And which by law they got 21 days to hold him as a juvenile.
Right.
They came in and tried him on the 20th day, which I think is very low ball.
Well, and that's as may be, but you already know they can do that.
But I have never heard anybody calling the police on themselves to burglarizing something.
Okay, all right. But you understand that where I'm at this morning is I have a warrant signed by another judge, so they already made the probable cause determination, so that's not for me this morning. All I'm going to do is set the bonds. The bonds this morning on the warrant, I think, are $25,000. What I'm going to do is set a bond $5,000 on each count, so the total is $10,000. We'll have these cases back on the 1st of May, and then he needs, of course, to get a hold of his PD as soon as possible, right? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vincent Tolbert. Morning, Vincent.
Good morning, yeah.
Date of birth?
12/30/85.
Charges battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender. Can I say something though?
Not if you're going to talk about the facts, Vincent. Okay. But
yeah, but it wasn't all right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Tabitha's here, and she may want to talk to me. So hang on a second, Tabitha.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
This looks to be a Florida charge, but there is apparently some insight.
You talking to me?
Go ahead.
I'm not seeing any of the Florida charges for Mr. Tolbert. There is some activity, it looks to be out of both the state of Georgia, Texas, and Alabama, if it's the same person.
Okay.
But traffic doesn't appear, criminal trespass, doesn't appear to be anything terribly significant out of state that I can find.
Okay. All right, Tabitha, come up forward. How you doing today?
Good.
Good. All right. What do you want to tell me today?
So I wanted to lift the no contact so that he was able to come home. Yesterday we were yelling at each other, and because we're in an apartment complex, other people called. He was just trying to get his stuff to go, and it escalated to us yelling. So we told the truth, and they ended up taking him away.
Okay.
So there was he did not hit me, he did not harm me.
Okay.
There shouldn't have been any reason for them to take him away, but we didn't argue it, and that's why I'm here.
That's best, because they don't know.
Right.
Okay. All right. Tabitha, are you concerned that Vincent's going to hit you or harm you in any way?
No.
Did anybody threaten you or coerce you to get you to come here this morning
Not at all.
and ask for contact?
No.
How long have you known Vincent?
It's over 6 years.
Okay. Are you guys married or just boyfriend, girlfriend? Or?
We live together.
Okay. You have any kids?
I have children, yes.
Not with Vincent?
No.
Okay. All right, hang on one second. And Vincent, the address I have for you is Ridgeline Lane. Is that where you were living?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Well, that's the thing. I'm supposed to start working. I drive trucks on Monday coming up.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the bond, and I have to set a monetary bond on these kind of cases. I'll set the bond at $500. I will let you have peaceful contact with Tabitha. It is always a crime to touch her any way she does not want to be touched. It could be a violation of your conditions of pretrial release if you so much as raise your voice. Any contact that you have with her must be contact that is able to be described as peaceful. You understand that, Vincent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tabitha, like I just said to him, it's always a crime for him to touch you any way you do not want to be touched. If something happens and you feel like you need to call 911, you should call 911 and they will come running just as fast as they ever would. This doesn't change anything, all right?
Yes, sir.
But you certainly may have contact now. All of his contact must be peaceful. If there is contact that is not peaceful, you should let the law enforcement know, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
And Judge, I don't have a date on it, but I know she was probably given a contact date for an intake with the state attorney's office. It's probably best that you keep that just so you can give us your side of what happened.
Yep, exactly. And whatever that appointment with the state attorney's office is, absolutely critical that you keep that, because the only way they know what you think happened, what you want to happen, is if you keep that appointment, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vincent, you'll be back in court on the 20th of April. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks, Tabitha. Roger Stevens. Roger Stevens. Want to start with your date of birth?
10/13/1970.
Roger, you have 3 charges this morning: driving on a suspended license, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel.
Private.
State, what can you tell me?
91 felony, looks like an aggravated battery, but that was dropped. 94, he was on some form of probation and picked up a possession of short-barreled shotgun, which violated his probation. 98, another battery. 99, aggravated assault dropped. There's a 9-year break. Picked up a resisting without disorderly. 2010, domestic violence battery. 2012, simple assault. Then violated that probation. Petty theft. 2012, a violation of DVI. Another violation of probation. Went into prison 2013. Apparently didn't do all that much time because later in 2013 was picked up another contempt on a violation of injunction. 2015, drug possession. 2016, a 4th DUI-related offense. And lastly, 2016 in August, FTA, a felony, but it's not indicative of what the felony is.
All right. Sir, I have an address for you on Lodge Circle in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
I've never done this 4 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Yeah, part-time.
What do you do?
Construction.
Okay. On the driving charge, I'm going to leave the bond at $2,000. On the meth, I'll set it at $2,000. On the paraphernalia, at $1,000. Your total is $5,000. Have you back in court on the 1st of May. When you hire your lawyer, make sure you tell him about that court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And PD was not appointed, Judge?
No. And Michael Wiggs? Yes. Sure. Hang on a second, Mike.
No, nothing.
Shane Heath is here. They paid everything. We're going to terminate it.
So what are we doing, Mr. Wiggs?
Mr. Wiggs just resolved his felony 17 CF 2574. I believe he took probation. Mr. Wiggs, did you take probation?
Community control, yes.
Okay. And he's here to resolve 18 MM 821. It's 4 counts of violation of injunction.
Okay, what's his time?
Give me a minute, Judge.
Mr. Wiggs, you'd like to resolve the misdemeanors, is that right?
Yes, sir.
It's 30 or 31 days, Judge.
You understand by
What was the resolution on the felony, if I may ask?
community control?
Okay.
Mr. Weeks, you understand by entering pleas today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this case today?
I do.
Case number 18MN821 as to the 4 counts of violation of a DVI. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
Accept those pleas, find them freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on each count, sentence you to 30 days in the county jail on each count, credit 30 days served on each count. As to count 1, there'll be a fine and court cost of $503. As to 2 through 3, there'll be an additional $88 each. I will not order the cost of incarceration because I'm sure they ordered that in the circuit court. That takes care of the misdemeanors. Michael, if there's nothing else pending against you, you will be released today, all right?
Cost of prosecution?
Yes, sir.
This including the fine. Gotcha. Very good. Thanks, sir. And then, Scott, apparently there's somebody outside on a probation case.
I guess they're doing it next door.
They're going to take care of it? Okay. All right, very good. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Judge.